I'd like to also add that I came up in a segregated society here in Virginia with parents with minimal education, and I guess low income, even though my father worked at a shipyard, it was low. However, I had teachers who constantly said to us, you have to be better than the white kids to make it in society. We don't have blacks or whites telling our children that today. So I want to know what we as a community, what organization, what vehicles do we have to reach our disenfranchised population in America?
I'm going to answer that question in a reverse order by saying first, I don't know. Secondly, I'm going to say that my answer is based on one, growing up in, as I mentioned, Philadelphia, in inner city Philadelphia, where I had poor education from the 1st to the 5th grade, but better education later when my parents moved to a white neighborhood, and you know the rest of the story. I'll respond to that by saying also that since I retired about 5 years ago, I've worked in the mental health setting, and I supervise counselors who go out in the inner city areas, downtown Newport News, Norfolk, etc. And I work with them consistently. A problem that is apparent in almost every situation is that the children and adults they work with have little or no motivation to do anything positive or constructive. I feel really bad saying that, but that's what I have learned. So a big question becomes, how do you motivate the unmotivated? That's a very, very difficult question. How do you give people hope who don't have much hope and are basically satisfied with what the government is doing for them? It's a very, very difficult question. Very difficult to answer, especially for those of us who, while we may have grown up poor, or we may have grown up without much, we almost always had parents who instilled in us the idea that if you get an education, you can achieve, you can succeed. If you work hard, you can get there. It's easy for us to say that, those of us who have achieved, but to try to input that on people who are living in poverty and who have very little, if any, hope, poor, terrible role models, 14-year-old mothers raising children. It's a hard question. So to answer that, I already mentioned, I don't know the answer. And I don't know if the answer is anything other than we've got to just figure out how to get people motivated and how to work together.
If I could respond very briefly, I too am a product of the inner city, raised in the South Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, Bedford-Stuyvesant. I didn't get into all of that, the gangs, etc. I spoke to Arturo Lindsay on my way back from the West Coast this past Sunday as we drove along 64, passing Charlottesville and seeing all the state troopers and so on, and concerning ourselves with snipers or whatever. My friend Arturo Lindsay, who was the chair of the art department at Spelman, we went to high school together. He asked me if I remembered my experience at East New York High School in terms of preparation for college and encouragement. And the guidance counselor, Mrs. Gillespie, never called down any African Americans or Hispanic Americans to her office to encourage them to seek a college education. And he went to the principal and said, "Why is that, Mr. Walton? Why aren't they doing that?" And nothing much was said about the PSATs or the SATs. So the school system has something to do with it in many areas. There's not the encouragement. You also have to consider what happens in the home. We do have a generation which is not like the generation I grew up under. You have to have parents who stress from the very beginning that this is the way it is. Your children, I don't want to be cliche-ish, they're not your friends. They are your children. You have to lay down, thank you, guidelines, and it's incumbent upon every one of us, even if they're not our children, when you have an opportunity, I know you run the risk of maybe getting shot at times or stabbed, and I mean, especially in New York City, you gotta watch yourself. I'm being very serious about it, and in other places too, but we have to go into the school system when it's time to meet with the teachers and ask them what they're doing to encourage our students. And beyond that, again, we have to consider the media. Media and technology has just taken over, and what they see on the screen and what is acceptable, the swearing and so on. I'm not a stick in the mud, but the stuff I see on electronic media, to say in TV, etc., movies, and on these phones that everybody has, this is a different generation, and we have to figure out a way to reach them. And one way, again, is to continue to teach, to agitate, as Frederick Douglass said, even if it upsets individuals, just keep doing it, and maybe things will get better.
Thank you.